Martinez, and I want to welcome you to my kitchen. Today we're going to make some tostones, twice-fried plantains, with a delicious mock ceviche with crab. Then we're going on to make a pan-seared fillet of cod dressed with a clam, garlic, and tomato broth.
Daisy Cooks is brought to you by
As Daisy says, eat great, feel great, look great. Marshall's. Brand names for less.
All-Clad Metal Crafters. All-Clad is bonded construction. All-Clad is innovative design. All-Clad is professional equipment. All-Clad is a state of mind. Brillo with Oxy Action. For tough messes, Oxy micro bubbles lift and dissolve grease and grime. Brillo, cleaning solutions for your home for over 90 years. Diageo. As Daisy says, eat great, feel great, look great. And if you drink, drink responsibly. Diageo, celebrating life every day responsibly.
Hola. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things. Party. Yep, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to make some fabulous party food for us today. Quick, easy, fun, and it looks like $1 million. Let's get started. I have some chopped up tomatoes here, and I'm going to do a few more. I'm going to score the bottoms, like so. Just a little X on the bottom of the tomato. And I'm going to core the top. Just take that right out. Okay, and we'll just, again, just X the bottom of this one, core it, pop it right out. Okay, now we have some boiling water here on the side, and I'm going to drop the tomatoes in for literally 45 seconds. You're going to start seeing the skin curl off that X that we made on the bottom. The skin is starting to split already, do you see? I'm going to be making tomato jam, cooked down tomatoes that have been seeded. This, I think, is just about ready. And we're going to take this out and plunge it right into ice water to stop the cooking. It's not enough just to take them out of the water and set them on the board. You really want to shock them with ice water so that the cooking process stops inside and out. That feels cool enough. We'll take this out, and the skin will come right off. Okay, and then we're going to cut it in half and just squeeze the seeds out. I wouldn't do this with canned tomatoes. I would rather wait till you have good tomatoes. I really think that the water content in canned tomatoes is too high. But you could do it with tomatoes that aren't that fabulous because you are going to be seasoning. And you can get decent tomatoes in the winter, even plum tomatoes or tomatoes that are imported from another country. You are going to season them. You're going to put some garlic in there and some salt and pepper and some delicious oregano. And we're going to cook this with a little olive oil and garlic and just let literally the water cook right out of it. And you're going to be left with something that's really chock full of tomato flavor. It's really, really tasty. I'm going to kiss the bottom of the pan with a little olive oil. We don't hit olive oil with high heat. We want to treat it very gently so that we don't alter the flavor or the chemical composition of the oil. And since we're going to be cooking this at a very low simmer, it's okay to use olive oil in this instance. Okay, I'm going to throw in, 4 cloves of minced garlic. And we're just going to soften those a little bit. I don't want any color on this garlic. I just want to make it bloom, and that's happening fairly quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes. I have about a tablespoon of oregano here, and I want to bring this up to a real, nice high heat. Just hit it with a little bit of salt, fresh ground black pepper. Okay, look at all the water that's losing already. All that water we're going to cook out. So it's been about 45 minutes, and take a look at what's going on in this pan. You have a beautiful, rich, concentrated puree. You can spread it, but it's the sweetness of the tomatoes, the nose of the oregano, just a hint of garlic. It's absolutely delicious. It tastes like somebody sprinkled sugar in there, and I swear nobody did. Well, we're going to set this in a little bowl over here, and then it's going to be time to introduce you to my friend, the plátano. Okay, and in my house, we don't have a party without tostones. I am telling you, you will never put out a plate of tostones and have one left, not one. And people are like looking at the last tostón on the plate, figuring if I reach for it first, will somebody smack my hand? This is a banana, and I'm sure that you're well acquainted with this. You know the bananas are always best to eat when they're flecked with little brown spots. That's when they're at their prime. Not to be mistaken with this. This is a very green plantain. And at this point, this is something that is quite savory. I would say it's a distant cousin to the banana that we know and love, but it's a savory food. This, when ripe, turns a little lighter yellow, a little darker yellow, and then you have some black on it. And this is not something you put in the garbage. This is gold. This is breakfast with fried eggs and tostones. These are delicious, sweet plátanos maduros. These are ripe plantains. They're soft. They have give when you touch them. They're sweet. They're delicious. They're golden and just, oh, they're so good. But we're not going to be eating those today. We're going to be having our tostones. Tostones are twice fried plantains. The first time we fry the tostón is at a lower temperature than the second time because we want the plátano to cook through. And I'm going to show you how to peel a plátano. Just work the skin, then just with your knife, just work the skin away a little bit. With a plátano maduro, with a ripe plantain, you wouldn't have to do this. You just run your finger and the whole thing just comes off. Okay, I'm just going to run my finger right in there and loosen the skin. Turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. Just with your knife, just kind of like push it up. Tostones are like potato chips. You cannot eat one tostón. And you can have tostones for a snack, or you can have them as part of a meal with mojito. We'll do that another time. So there it is. And if you have anything left, just scrape it off with your knife. This little piece here. Okay, and then we're going to cut them in pieces about, let's say, an inch. The plantain differs from a banana in that it has a higher starch content. This is not ripe. You've seen green bananas in the supermarket. You wouldn't eat one of those. I wouldn't eat one of these raw either. These need to be cooked. Okay, and I'm going to take these and I'm just going to swirl them around in a little salt water. If you peel a plantain, you can't leave it laying around. You need to soak it in water because it will oxidize and turn black. Also, I've been heating the oil over here, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't get too hot. I have this little test with my spoon. You see that happy little bubble? That's a nice heat for our plátanos first fry. When we heat the oil the second time around, I want a really, really serious bubble. Everybody has their own little technique, right? They throw a drop of water or a bead of wine or a piece of bread. You always have a wooden spoon in the kitchen, so I put mine to good use all the time. Okay, so these are dry, right? And I don't like to wait terribly long for my tostones, so let's put these into the oil. This time I'm using canola oil because we're going to be frying at a higher heat. And we wouldn't use olive oil because it would break down and our tostones would be affected. And I take my tostones very, very seriously. And it's going to take a minute. You don't want them to get a lot of color. You just want them to get soft enough that when they're ready for the second fry, you can smash them without them breaking. So you don't want to overcook them. If they get too crackly, you're going to have a problem. Okay, and I think, yep, they just have a little bit of color now. I'm going to turn these over. I'm telling you, I could make a case of green plantains in my house and it wouldn't be enough. When I bring these out at a party, I can't replenish the platter quick enough. Give them just a minute and then I'm going to set them to cool. Okay, we are done. You see this? That's as much color as we want on these bad boys. Okay, I'm starting to have fun now. We finished our tomato jam, and while the tostones are cooling, I'm going to make a quick ceviche. Not real ceviche. I'm just going to make a little crab salad dressed with a little lime zest and some pretty olive oil. And don't give me the excuse that you can't get crab meat where you are anymore, because there's this wonderful stuff out now that's pasteurized, and you can pretty much get it anywhere. The quality of the crab meat is rather good, so really treat yourself to this. Let's just set this over here. Okay, I like to take it out of the can with my fingers because this way I get to touch it and make sure that there's no little pieces of cartilage or shell in there. But no, this is really beautifully clean. So let's go over and zest our lime. And when we zest, we want just the green part of the lime. We don't want the white pith because that's bitter and will change the flavor of your dish. And you're rotating it, of course. Okay, and we'll just scrape that down. Then I have some sweet bell peppers. I have red and I have yellow, and I'm just going to finish the yellow bell pepper here. And this will really add some sweetness to the ceviche. I'm going to refer to it as ceviche from now on, but in the stricter sense of the word, it is not a ceviche. It's more like a little crab salad. A true ceviche is raw fish that is cured in citrus, lemon juice or lime juice, or a combination of lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, citrus. The acid in the fruit juice cooks the fish and just gives it this wonderful texture. I love ceviche. Ceviche spells summer to me. I have a couple of serrano peppers, and I'm just going to trim the ends off of these. If this ceviche was just for me, I'd be using habanero peppers or something with a little more screech factor. But I'm going to be sensitive to my company, and I'm just going to go ahead and make the serrano peppers, which offer a moderate amount of heat. And notice that I'm not seeding the peppers. I want the seeds, I want the ribs, I want the heat. All that heat will make them sweat a little bit, and then we'll get them on the dance floor. It's all good. We'll have a party in no time. So we have red and yellow and green, sweet and hot. Okay, everybody into the pool, girls. I'm going to throw in a pinch of chopped cilantro because nothing says ceviche like cilantro. And just a little spray of lime juice to really perk the whole salad up. I don't know about you, but this looks like a party to me already. How gorgeous is this? Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and just a teeny bit of black pepper, fresh black pepper, which I love, and a sprinkle, just a sprinkle of fresh olive oil. And finish tossing that. I'm ready to go dancing now. I'm just like, this is like, I'm ready. Okay, so we'll put these in the fridge, and we'll get together with those tostones. I'm ready for a party. I'm starting my own party. We're having a party right here. Let's get those tostones. We're going to get them ready for their second fry, and they're cool enough now for me to handle them with my fingers. And what we're going to do is we're going to give them a little smash. Now this little thing, this is really funny. I took my family to Puerto Rico on vacation, and I was in this little gift shop, and I said, oh, how cute, a little tostonera, a little thing so you can smash your plantains. And I bought it, and when I got home, I said, oh, how cute. But apparently it looks like tostones have caught on in China as well, because down here at the bottom of my tostonera, it says made in China. So apparently our Asian brothers have caught on the plantain thing. Okay. But so what you do with a tostonera is you just smash your plantain and you have a little thingy like this. Now, you don't have a tostonera, don't use that as an excuse for not making tostones because this works equally well. What you want to do is you want to smash your tostón so not that it breaks, but you'll see the ends, how they split. That's ready for frying. My husband's afraid of this. He doesn't let me keep one of these in the house. Okay? Ready for frying. Tostones are good on their own, just with a little salt and with some fried chicken or pork chops. My mouth is watering. Let's take a look at the oil. Immediately you have a nice bubble going on. You can see the smoke of the oil, so this oil is very hot, which means that our tostones are going to fry fast and furious. Let's put them in quickly and watch. Yep, gorgeous. Perfect, perfect, perfect. This is a lot like the technique that you use when making homemade French fries. The first fry is at a lower temperature than the second fry, which really just serves not to cook the tostón, but to crisp it up. And you see there's color immediately. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Look how pretty that is. Ah, I love the smell of tostones. Almost as much, but not quite as much as eating tostones. We're done. I'm going to start taking them out right now. You see, this is the color that you're looking for, a nice, beautiful, caramelly, crunchy edges. Look how beautiful this is. When you make your tostones thick enough, what you end up having is the edges are nice and crispy, but inside you have nice, soft plátanos, plantain. The texture is miraculous. I'm going to add a little salt, and I could eat them just like this, just like this. Let's go get that jam and the ceviche, and let's put this together, okay? Just a little bit of the jam. This tostón has my name on it. Bring my little ceviche salad and anchor it right on top. There we go. And we have a beautiful little hors d'oeuvre to serve our guests before we get dinner on the table. Tostones with tomato jam and crab ceviche. You remember I told you before that this one has my name on it? Well, it's got my name on it. I'm going to wash it down with a nice cold one. Like we say in Spanish, una verde, a nice green one. Let's go. That is so good. You get the starch and the crunchiness of the plantain, the sweetness of the crab, the heat from the serrano peppers. Oh, the freshness of the cilantro and the lime juice. Makes you want to beat your mama. Can't get enough of that funky stuff. Okay, now that we have the tostones and the ceviche out of the way, we're going to get ready for dinner. Bacalao, fresh cod, bacalao fresco with clams and cherry tomatoes. We're going to start off making a little broth that we're going to serve the cod with. So I have a little bit of olive oil. And to that, I'm going to add 4 cloves of sliced garlic. We're just going to let that get a hint of color. Over here, I have some little neck clams. And this yellow stuff that you see floating around in this water bath is cornmeal. And this is a little tip that I got from a little old Italian man who used to be my fishmonger a few years ago. And he taught me that this was how you got delicious sandless clams. Not only that, but the clams get really, really plump. What you do is you add a tablespoon of cornmeal to salt water, and if you can let your clams sit there for a few hours, that's great. If not, as long as you can. The clams eat the cornmeal, thereby spitting out the sand, and the salt water plumps them up again, like when they're in their natural environment. And believe me when I tell you, you will not find any sand in my clams. Lower, lower, lower the heat, and I'm going to cover this, and that looks perfect. What I have here are 2 gorgeous cod fillets. I'm just going to salt it a little bit. And the best way I find to eat cod is just like really simple. Either pan-seared or broiled, and fresh ground pepper. And this is a dish that is ready relatively quickly. So you can have all the components ready before your guests arrive and then just put it together. This way you don't miss out on any of that party that's going on. I have a plate here with some flour, and I'm just going to dredge lightly the cod fillets and just pat off the excess. Okay, does that look pretty? And the next one. Ah, we're ready for our fish. And we're going to bring this over here. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we want a nice golden color on the cod. And I'm cooking it at medium heat because while I want to sear the outside of the fish so it's nice and crisp and golden, I don't want to fry it so fast that it gets too dark and the inside of the fish is underdone. Also, cod is not something that you want to be shaking and shuffling around in the pan. Cod is a very, very delicate fish, and when you cook it, it flakes. So in the interest of keeping your fillet as intact as possible, put it in the oil, let it crisp, gently turn it over, and pray for the best. Okay, it looks just about time to turn these, and I'm going to use a little spoon. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to switch these pans around again. Excuse me, girls. Boy, it looks happy inside that. There's a party going on in that pan. And to those clams, I'm going to add a couple of cherry tomatoes, just enough to heat through. And to that, I'm going to add some fresh chopped cilantro. And I'm just going to stir it around a little bit. Lower the heat. And the cod is starting to separate. Remember I told you that the cod flakes? And if you look in here, you can see that it's opaque all the way through. That cod is cooked. I don't want to touch it because it'll fall apart. Beautiful. Okay, this is done. And I have two gorgeous bowls that I'm going to make. I am going to set cod fillet in each one. And then I'm going to spoon some clams and tomatoes. We don't want to waste a single drop of this fabulous broth. I think I'll taste from this one. The cod is sweet and buttery. The clams are briny from the ocean. You get the nose from the garlic, and the cilantro brings the whole thing up to another notch. This is certainly a dish that you need to make at your next party. Buen provecho.
Daisy Cooks, Latin flavors that will rock your world, contains over 200 of her detailed recipes. With each order, you also get a Daisy Cooks DVD at no additional cost. It includes the never broadcast Daisy Pilot and 3 favorite shows. To order, call 800-336-1917. The price is $29.95. You can also order the Daisy Cooks book with free DVD at her website, daisycooks.com.
Hola, it's Daisy. Hey, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me at daisycooks.com. Tell me what you think. Sign up for my newsletter and get recipes and tips in English and Spanish. It's all at daisycooks.com.
Daisy Cooks is brought to you by
As Daisy says, eat great, feel great, look great. Marshall's. Brand names for less.
All-Clad Metal Crafters. All-Clad is bonded construction. All-Clad is innovative design. All-Clad is professional equipment. All-Clad is a state of mind. Brillo with Oxy Action. For tough messes, Oxy micro bubbles lift and dissolve grease and grime. Brillo, cleaning solutions for your home for over 90 years. Diageo. As Daisy says, eat great, feel great, look great. And if you drink, drink responsibly. Diageo, celebrating life every day responsibly.